Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Discover with Dave, and today we're going to be making homemade dumplings. I'm going to be starting off with making the dough from scratch. So I have a KitchenAid mixer that I'll be using for this. I'm going to start off with some unbleached all-purpose flour, and I'm going to start putting into the bowl a total of 3.5 cups of flour. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, and let me raise up the mixer, and I'm going to start adding water. Basically your goal is to just get it so it's not dry. I'm going to start off with half cups of water and start pouring that mixture. Two. And we're going to start adding some and again it can vary, but I ended up using, for the amount of flour that I use, which sometimes is a little bit over, a little less, but basically I use 1.5 cups of water, but since I'm using half cups, basically I did it 3 times, okay, 3 half cups. So what I'm going to do now is let that mix for about 4 minutes. After 4 minutes, I'm going to stop and let it rest. All right, let me go over some of the ingredients I'm going to be using. Some ginger, fresh ginger, garlic, green onions, some Chinese cabbage, napa cabbage, some forms of Chinese bok choy, about 1.5 pounds of ground pork, some cornstarch, some chicken marinade, some soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce, and maybe a little bit of sesame oil. So again, there's different kinds of the bok choys and cabbages that you can use, but try to find something that's tender. Just try to get the top green leaf part, because you don't want anything that's too hard in the dumplings that'll break or hard to eat. So I just washed it all, obviously cleaned it out really well, and now I'm just again chopping it up into little pieces. Another thing that's really good is sometimes they'll add what they call Chinese chives. It's really good though. Springtime, when it's real tender though, you got to get it when it's real tender in the spring, and that is really good to add those in there too. So obviously, whatever greens that you like, put those in there. So I chopped up about 1/2 bowl of the cabbage and bok choy. I'm going to put about a tablespoon of some ginger and garlic, and a little bit of black pepper. White ground pepper. About a teaspoon of sugar, We're going to put the ground pork in there. It's called a chicken marinade sauce. A little bit of that in there. I like it. It's probably what, just a tablespoon and a half. Soy sauce. About a tablespoon or so of that. About 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. That helps bind everything together. So I got approximately that here. And we're going to mix that up, and then I'll add a little bit of sesame oil at the end. Kind of coat it at the end. And at the same time, we have to continue mixing. So I got another 4 minutes. I'm going to put it on level 2, and I'm going to continue mixing the dough as I'm going to mix the meat mixture. I'm going to add some of the little bit of sesame oil. Give it a nice little taste. I'd say like half a teaspoon, like not much, just because it's very strong. Sesame oil is very strong. Just gives it a little bit of extra flavor. Nice Asian flavor. No, it's not a giant dumpling. This is a dough I just took out. And I'm probably, I don't remember how I do. I believe I usually cut it in a 3. Roll this into like a rope. You're basically cutting them into little sections, about, I don't know, half an inch. And your goal is you're going to make those into little balls. Break it off. Maybe it's about a half inch, I should say. And we're going to roll those into little balls and roll those flat in a second here. and coat them with the flour so they don't stick together. So mix the flour all over it. Then we're going to, first we're taking a palm and just kind of squish them down, each one. Squish them down. And then we'll take like a roller and we're going to roll them about the size for a dumpling wrapper. We're going to take some meat with a spoon, scoop it in, and we're going to just slowly start folding on top. And as you see, we just kind of squish together, and that was quite fast and simple. Sometimes you might need to wet one spot a little bit to get it to stick, but since these are fresh, they should stick pretty good. Don't overfill them, just enough. So again, I'm trying to show slow motion so you can see this. You just kind of see we're squeezing it together, crimping it. I'm going to do several angles so you can kind of see how this all works here. Here's another view all together. You're holding it with the thumb and just using that finger and squish, squish, squish. And kind of tuck that in there, yeah. So another. Might get a little better view here from this way. Here's a little bit slower there, see? Just kind of thumb just is kind of holding it. And there, squish that together. Now let me show you doing the store-bought wrappers. Sometimes when you get these, when you buy them at the store, it might look like it's round, but they're actually slightly oval when we get them at the store. And like I said, I have it like an oval, but you dip half in the water. And I'm going to try to do this with one hand here because I'm kind of holding the camera with the other hand. But you're going to see, so sorry, I'm doing this with one hand right now, but I'm going to put some in there with my spoon. I dipped half, and I'm going to just fold it And that's it. It should stick because we dipped it a little bit in water, and it's not like we're crimping it together, but right there. Here's where somebody's using the two hands. You can see doing it. They just here they're just putting a little on their finger and putting some water and just squishing it together. That's it. Real simple. Using the wrappers can be real simple too, but again, I like sometimes to make my own homemade. What we're doing here is we had a little bit more of a chopped meat. This is a chopped meat instead of ground, and a little bit more vegetable. So this rapid method you can see is a little more intricate here, but they're using the thumb to kind of push it in. And I'm going to show you a couple views as we're doing this filling here. But again, this one's a little bit more of the vegetables, and the meat is chopped with a knife and not ground. So it's a little bit of a tougher, different, this is more of like a slightly more traditional. I've seen this done in Asian cuisines. So hopefully this angle you might be able to see a little bit better here. I've got a lot of help. You can see I've got a lot of helpers helping me wrap all different dumplings. Some like to use more vegetables, less. And just kind of push it in with the thumb to kind of fill that up there. And voila, there you go, see? Whoops, sorry. Alright, here's another angle. This one you should be able to see a little bit better. So, kind of squishing it in, filling them in like a sleeping blanket, huh? Kind of just... Can you see that? Alright, yep. Just kind of fold, fold, fold until you get to the end there. Okay, there. Wontons are next here. Okay. So what I'm doing is putting the filling in, putting a little water with my finger on two ends, two sides I should say, two angles. And we're going to fold over at the angle, make the triangle, okay, seal the triangle. Then I'm going to crease the center and wet one of the sides, bring that up and over, tie it and fold, and there you go. After wrapping the dumplings, I'll put them in the freezer for approximately an hour before taking them and putting them in bags. This way they don't stick together. So approximately an hour. You can test it depending on your freezer, but put them in, then take them out quickly, put them in bags, and then they should be good for a while. Okay guys, so after 1 hour of having them on a plate, I put them in Ziploc bags, and I've got myself 2 bags of dumplings here that we are going to cook.
Okay everybody, hi, I'm Wally the Wok, and we're going to cook the dumplings now by boiling them in water for approximately 10 to 12 minutes. So let's pour the water in and
Next thing we're going to do is boil some water to put the dumplings in. We're going to boil for approximately 10 minutes. So once I plate those dumplings, I made a little dipping sauce here. Some ginger and green onion and soy sauce and oil. And time to dip and eat.
Well, top of the morning to you now, I say, Charlie. And the rest of the day to you. Hey, Wally the Wok. What do you like to do in your spare time?
Well, Patty, I try to get out of the house and walk as much as possible. Walking's good for you. Hey, what's up, Craig the Clever Cleaver?
Hey, Wally, can you be more specific? When you say up, up is in the building, the sky, the galaxy.
Wow, you are sharp.
I hope I'm sharp. I'm a knife. I'm a cleaver.